Hi, Mr. Harris here again, and welcome back to our second freshman orientation video. We hope the first one gave you a nice overview of our overall program. We're hoping that some things in today's video will help you with is really what you need as you get started next week in your first week at high school here at MASH. So in today's today's program, what you're going to hear a little bit about is the academic program and the academic day, including the schedule. You'll hear some reference to advisory and how to look at your schedule in Sapphire. You also then will hear from several of the teachers you're going to have as freshman students. They're going to share with you some thoughts and some ideas that they would like you to hear. And then we'll start to wrap up the program today with some information on extracurricular activities, athletics, and then finish up with things that you need to know and be ready for on Tuesday and or Wednesday of next week, depending on your first day. So just to get you started a little bit, we thought we'd start with a little bit of our history or our heritage. Mechanicsburg School District, as you know, as a student over the previous 9 years in some cases, we talk about tradition, pride, and excellence. And tradition's a big part of that. It's where we came from. It's what we've accomplished that gives us that pride. And so we're going to give you a few little trivia questions, if you will, kind of rooted in our history. But as you can see on the screen to my right here, you will certainly see that our current high school building as it looks from the front, where some of you will enter if you come off the bus. But you can also see how it looked in 1968 when MASH was built. And so you can see our footprint there has largely stayed the same, but we've obviously got some additions and lots of modifications in different places. So let's jump in with a few questions. So the first question here that you can see, let's move slightly to the side. In 1967, the United States federal government declared the U.S. Navy's Marble Heights housing development to be surplus land and deeded the land to the Mechanicsburg Area School District for the purpose of building a new high school. It was not free. What did the district pay the federal government for the land? So before we go to see how much we paid for it, obviously we can see the right side of the photo there, a groundbreaking ceremony. But it's interesting, the Marble Heights, so this property here was housing that the Navy owned. And Marble Heights, I'm not familiar with that myself as a part of Mechanicsburg, but obviously Marble Street coming into this part of town, likely where the name came from. So let's see, how much did we pay to get this land? Well, there's the building as it's being completed in 1968, and you can see the grounds around it and the fields that are being laid out, but only $4,700, which granted in 1968 was not a small amount of money. It's not a very small amount of money today either, but it's a pretty small amount of money to get this kind of land. All right, let's see what we have for you here next. What was the nickname of the Mechanicsburg sports teams prior to the Wildcats? This will be interesting to see. Maybe I'll give you a few seconds here, see what kind of guesses you have in your mind. The first reference to the mascot is in the literature was in October 22nd, 1937. The edition of the school newspaper, The Torch, used the phrase "Wildcats break out of jinx," out to break jinx on Gettysburg Field. Prior to this time, Mechanicsburg teams were simply referred to by our colors, steel and maroon. Many of us refer to it as maroon and steel, and those remain our school colors. But Wildcats at least can trace back to 1937. All right, let's look at one more question here, and then we'll move on with our program. In what year did Mechanicsburg first have a marching band? So again, it's hard to always say when exactly the exact first something was, but you go back and you do your research, and in our archives we take a look at things like our yearbook and our student newspaper. They probably carry most of the history we have, unless some family in town brings us photographs or other artifacts from earlier time periods. So all we're sharing here is what we think we know, what we feel is part of our heritage here. And so the Mechanicsburg High School Marching Band has a proud tradition going back to the 1930s. The earliest band photograph was featured in the 1931 yearbook, and the director then was a gentleman by the name of Lloyd Bender. There were 59 members of the band, including a drum major, and that individual's name was Mervyn Fernball. And you can see a picture there of them below. I'm guessing that is somewhere in town near where the high school was in the 1930s on Simpson Street at that point in time. So we hope you enjoyed this little bit of history, but now let's look to the future, and I hope you stay with us here and see what the assistant principals and the faculty have and staff to help you prepare for your first days here at MASH. I can't wait to see you. Thank you.
Hi everybody, it's Mr. Bianchi again. Would like to introduce a little bit of our academic program before turning it over to Mr. Reedy on some nuts and bolts of our schedule and programming this year. We're extremely proud at MASH of our tradition of academic excellence. It's why we exist as an institution for our students. Over the past 5 or 10 years, we've been fortunate to receive some awards from some reputable organizations nationwide on the success of our students. These plaques here in the wall in the Commons represent the hard work of our students and the dedication of our teachers. More than any plaque that we could hang on the wall, however, we take pride in hearing the stories of our graduates that come back to us year after year and hear how well they're doing in their post-MASH days. And we look forward to the class of 2024 sharing those same stories 5, 10, and 20 years from now. At this point, I'll turn it over to Mr. Reedy with some more details on this year's program.
Hello everybody, this is Mr. Reedy again. I just wanted to share with you your first week of school schedule. Next week, the first week of school is going to be Steel Week, which means that if you have any courses that have a cycle day, the Steel Weeks are going to be odd. So like, for example, you might have PE. And we'll get into that in a few moments. So the first week of school, you're going to go directly to advisory period, the days you're in the building, your face-to-face days. As soon as the doors open at 8:30, you're going to go right to your advisory location. And then you can see the other class periods that will be, the times that they'll be posted. Period 1 is 9:34, 3 is 10:31, and so on and so forth. Keep in mind that myself and the other principals will go on the announcements and dismiss you by grade level. So just listen to the announcements when you're going through that. So as far as your schedule goes, it's a good idea to look at this before school starts, obviously. So once you go into Sapphire, you're going to go into your portal. Obviously, you're going to go to courses and grades. This is in the portal. And then once you go into there, you want to make sure this box is checked off, says show in non-graded classes. And this student here has advisory with Mrs. Porter, and that's room 222. So just make sure that you look at this room location, and that's where you're going to report. While we're also looking at this, you can see the duration. It says semester 1, semester 2. You almost want to, when you first start looking at your schedule, just start here with duration. Full year means you'll have advisory full year. S1 is semester 1. Semester 2 is everything, after semester 1. So don't worry about that just yet. This student here has period 1 on steel days, they have PE, and period 1 on maroon days, they have health. For period 3, this student has English, and for period 5, the student has French, and for period 7, the student has science. So that's how you read your schedule. All right, here we go.
Hi everyone, my name is Miss Early. This is my 6th year here at Mechanicsburg High School, and I teach 9th grade American Studies here in room 209.
Hello freshman class, my name is Mr. Varner. I am in room 223 and I'm a math teacher here at the high school. This is my 17th year here at this high school and in this room actually. I graduated from Messiah College and I attended Penn State main campus for a while, and I'm a huge Penn State football fan.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to MASH. My name is Mr. Reardon. I'm going to be your 9th grade health teacher, and I will see all of you at some point throughout this year, whether it be in the fall semester or in the spring semester. I do look forward to seeing each of you in class. So let me start by saying welcome. Welcome to the high school.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Donley, and I teach 9th grade English. I teach level 1 and level 3.
Hi, my name is Mr. Einzig, and I teach 9th grade Earth and Space Science and also an upper level elective called Advanced Geoscience. I've been teaching for 16 years, all at Mechanicsburg. I'm really looking forward to getting to know everyone coming in the new 9th grade group.
Hola, I'm Mrs. Jamielkowski, or Senora Jam. I teach Spanish 3, Honors 4, and Advanced Placement Spanish. I'm also the World Language Department Coordinator for the district. I've been at Mechanicsburg for 19 years as a teacher, and I love to travel, learn new languages, and create and design different types of art.
Over my years, I have noticed that when ninth graders are most successful, they reach out to their teachers when they have questions or need help. We are great resources for you, and we want to see you succeed.
What I see for freshmen, in order to be the most successful as freshmen, is from day one put forth a full effort, whether it be in math classes or English classes, science, history, or any electives. Just putting forth that full effort will help you guys maximize your success here your freshman year and all throughout your high school career.
Ninth graders are successful when they trust their teachers to help them achieve their best. We are here to help you.
Ninth graders are successful when they take responsibility and accept the challenge to learn, when they take initiative, ask questions, and advocate for themselves.
Ninth graders are successful when they really advocate for themselves. So please just let us know what you need, how you're feeling, because we are here to help you become successful.
The biggest challenge I see in ninth grade each year is when you are all learning how to time manage the workload and also learning how to deal with the added stress of being a high school student. Always know that the teachers are here to help you during this transition.
The biggest challenge I see for incoming ninth graders is how to study. A lot of students come in studying, spending a lot of time studying, but it's not always the most effective or efficient way. We can help you with that. I'm all about working smarter, not harder.
The biggest challenge that I see for incoming freshmen is making the transition between the middle school building and the high school building. Obviously, most freshmen are going to be new to the building if you don't have any older siblings in the district that have been here. So just get to know your way around, get to know where your classes are, make sure you guys memorize your schedule. And if you're not sure where you're supposed to be, please make sure you just stop and ask a teacher. Teachers between periods are usually out in the hall making a presence. So we're all real nice. Please feel free to just ask us if you need help or need directions on how to get somewhere.
The biggest challenge that I see for ninth graders this year is just navigating the workload for each semester, but you just need to remember to just take a deep breath and to make sure that you ask if you have any questions or just if you need help, because we are here to help you.
The biggest challenge for ninth graders in world language each year is being able to take the foreign out of the foreign language. My recommendation is that you try to speak or listen or read a little bit every day. Make it part of your daily routine. Find something that you're interested in, whether it's a movie that you change the subtitles to in your language that you're studying, or even changing the language on your phone. Making it part of your day takes out that foreign.
The one major thing that all freshmen really need to be aware of, just with high school in general, and this year I think even more so, is that you can't procrastinate. Don't push stuff off. Don't let it go. Take care of it. Prioritize your assignments as they come in and take care of them as best as possible in a timely manner. Because what I found with especially freshmen and ninth graders is that when you put stuff off, it becomes really hard to catch up in the end to make sure everything is finished.
One thing you should know about ninth grade American Studies is that we are going to be covering a lot of content during this course. It may seem like a lot, but don't worry, we will be doing it in a way that is manageable and also a way that makes sense for all of you. And we will have fun as we do it.
One thing that you should know about 9th grade world languages is that this is the beginning of your language path. If you follow it throughout high school, it can open many doors for you in the future. Many MASH graduates have gone on to study, teach, and work all over the world because of their strong foundation from MASD. Just imagine the possibilities if you continue down this path.
Something you should know about 9th grade Earth and Space Science is that it can be really fun and challenging at the same time. If you focus on those positive pieces and enjoy what you're working on, you'll find that the challenging parts really aren't that big of a deal.
My ultimate goal in health is bringing it to life for you, making meaning out of it, that, every day in health really does matter, regardless of the topic that we're talking about.
One thing that you should know about 9th grade English is that we have very high expectations for you. However, we are going to support you every step of the way so that you can find all the success.
One thing that you should know about us here at the high school in the math department is we do have very high expectations for students. As I said before, putting forth a full effort is very important from day one as a freshman, and I hold to that. And again, we all have very high expectations, so please make sure you guys keep up with things like your homework, participate in class in order to be able to meet those expectations.
And so as we embark on this journey together, I want you guys to know that whatever you need, whatever challenges we encounter throughout this year, as I'm sure that we are going to run into new challenges along the way, we're going to run into stuff that we're not anticipating. I'm here to help you in whatever way that I can. You just need to be able to ask. You need to be able to ask for help. I don't always know if you're struggling or if you're having trouble, but I am more than willing to help.
I am going to support you by listening to you, giving you honest feedback, and helping you in any way that I can. I hope you have a great year.
One of the ways that I will, and as all math teachers in this department will, help you as freshmen and as sophomores, juniors, seniors, is anytime that you're struggling with math content, please make sure you come see your teacher or go see another math teacher or ask to see a math teacher during a study hall maybe. But if you are struggling with the content, we're all here to help. We all became math teachers so that we could help students learn about math.
I am going to support you this year by making sure my classroom is a welcoming space for all of you. And always know that I have a smile on behind my mask and I am here for you always. I cannot wait to meet all of you over the next couple weeks, and I'm excited for you guys to start your journey here at MASH.
My department and I are going to support you by being here to listen, guide, help, and encourage you. We want you to be successful in learning a language and have fun while you're doing it. Adios, hasta pronto.
I am going to support you by always being transparent with you and just always being ready to help you, whether that's academically or socially or emotionally.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Mechanicsburg Area Senior High. My name is Seth Bohanec and I'm the Athletic Director here at the school district. I hope you are as excited as I am to begin the 2020-2021 academic and athletic school year. Here at the high school, we sponsor 24 PIAA varsity sports, as well as cheerleading. We compete in the Mid-Penn Conference in the fall, winter, and spring seasons. If you would like more information on Wildcat Athletics, take a look at our website at gomechanicsburg.com or follow our Twitter handle @GoMechanicsburg. If you still have questions, you can always email me or see me in my office, which is located in the administration wing down from the main office. Best of luck this school year, and we look forward to seeing you compete in the maroon and steel.
In addition to athletics, MASH offers many other extracurricular clubs and activities. We like to encourage all of our students to be involved and take advantage of these opportunities. There's a list of clubs on the high school website under the Students tab. And keep an eye out for opportunities to participate in school performances and publications. If you're not sure if there's something offered to fit your interests, talk to a teacher, school counselor, or a principal.
As we start to close our video, we're going to go over some nuts and bolts of how our school operates. This is the type of information that you would normally view on the first day of school in the auditorium in an assembly. We're going to move through it pretty quickly to keep us going. So we'll start with the administration available to you for support in the office here. Our principal, Mr. Harris, 3 assistant principals, and Mr. Pahanik, our athletic director. In the office, you'll find Mrs. Forey, Mrs. Bentz, and Mrs. Collins, and Miss Beffert is the counseling secretary. We have 4 school counselors, 1 assigned to each grade, Mr. Covert, Mrs. Kromka, Mrs. Clark, and Ms. Heaston. We have a student handbook. It is available on our website. If you prefer a hard copy, one can be made available to you. We'll run through this information the first day of school. More attendance information will come. The general mechanics of it, a lot will remain the same in terms of the need to provide an excuse, tardiness, academic trips. If you plan on taking a trip or for religious exemption, please see the main office. Paperwork is available on the website as well. And truancy, we have an obligation, a legal obligation to be in school, so our attendance record is very important. More mechanics on attendance to come in the coming days, just not at the time of this filming. Student IDs are very important. They allow access within the school to different places, especially the library and the cafeteria. New IDs can be made in the library. The way we get around our hallways in between periods is really with a traditional paper system. Some systems are still good traditional, so we use a restroom pass and a general hall pass as well as a sign-out book. This is an interesting one. It is not traditional as our world is changing with mobile devices. We have to balance the academic possibilities, the communication possibilities, and that the world is our fingertips with some potential harm that comes from devices. A general distraction device, a recording device, that's definitely not permissible here at school. And unfortunately, we see things on social media that we would prefer not there, and we deal a lot in that kind of a different world. So please, let's use these devices responsibly, especially this year as we increase our device technology with Chromebooks too. Cell phones are not permissible in the building unless at the direction of a teacher within the confines of the school day, and this year that is 8:45 to 1:15. So again, that's just brief, but those are our core philosophies about that. Core philosophies about this right here. Try to make it very clear to students that this is not a place for divisiveness of any regard. It's a place for dialogue. It's a place for discussion, even spirited discussion. But when hate speech starts to come into play, when violence and fighting start to come into play, sometimes that occurs over social media, and sometimes that stuff is recorded. We can't have that. And unfortunately, the most serious of these types of incidents can be referred to the local law enforcement. So let's not talk about more of that here. But keep these in mind, they're absolutely important. This is the most important thing, be kind to one another. Dress code, we're not going to go over bullet by bullet what the dress code says, but be tasteful, be responsible. In terms of tops and bottoms and symbols, a rule of thumb is to represent yourself and your family in the way that they wish to be in public. In terms of safety, we take that very important here. You'll see throughout every classroom in the hallway, different signage and different procedures. We'll leave that for more explanation, and we really want you to have success here at MASH. Every day putting pennies in the bank, and over the long haul, we reap those great rewards. Okay, here we are at the student entrance back by the gym, and we'll go in through the doors and walk down the hallway. You'll see various signs about distancing and mask. I'm not wearing mine right now for sake of the video. As we walk in, you'll see 4 dots at each of the 3 main entrances, and at other points where lines may form, you'll see extra hand sanitizing stations fastened to the wall there. Here's really our first big change. Our first time that you'll encounter directional traffic. So if you're coming in the student entrance at the gym lobby, you'll proceed down this way to the office. And those conveyor belts go throughout the hallways, throughout really most all of the school. Here we are in the main lobby. If you're coming from the bus, you'll enter this direction from the front of the school, of course, and you'll see dots here on the floor. You'll also see Mrs. Collins out there working hard, as all of our office staff and custodial staff and teaching staff and everybody have been working so far this year. Then you'll come into the cafeteria. We have set up 2 basic stations. This side of the cafeteria and rope lines you see right here will be for cold meals. And the food court on this side of the cafeteria, which you'll actually enter from the back this year, is for hot meals. Here's where you start to see a lot of directional arrows put up. We don't have all of our signage up yet, but around this wing of the building, we pretty much have everything ready to go. So you'll see every 10 to 20 feet or so an arrow on both sides of the hallway pointing us in the right direction. We have our library here. We'll talk about library procedures the first day and the first week of school. Largely how access to the library will be by appointment. Same thing with the nurse's office, actually. So more details to come on that. As I mentioned, those 2 spaces, the counseling office as well, in addition to the main office, will largely be accessed by appointment. Around the corner here, if you have Class A in the front hallway, you follow your directional arrows. You'll notice a few bigger signs at intersections to point you in the right direction. And you'll also see our stairwells labeled up or down, always with red or green to make it as easy as possible. And again, we'll continue to put more signs up and more color up to make it as simple as possible. See here at the top of the stairwell, labeled in red, so students shouldn't go down during transitions in this stairwell. Again, you have Purell hand sanitizing stations at most intersections. You'll find arrows and directional signage, and you'll also find these dots on the floor, not just at the entrances of the building, but anywhere that lines would tend to form. At restrooms, at water fountains, trying to limit the number of people in the restrooms as one goal, and to spread people out. One last thing that you'll notice is that we've got 5 new bottle fill and water stations throughout the school. So take a walk with me and I'll show you that. And here we are. You see the dots on the floor ready to line up. We were lucky to be able to obtain these thanks to our maintenance and custodial departments for installing them really on short notice. You'll see signs above them. You'll use bottles at all water fountains, and it's really a luxury and a good addition to MASH. So, thank you.